Hi, and welcome all to the CAA Show. My name is Juggi Bhasin. CAA is conversation and analysis of all the hot button issues of the day. So, do you all remember those fair and lovely advertisements in the past which caused so much hue and cry? People are angry, and rightly so, I feel, because the ads, in a sense, objectified women and presented an idea of women as the ad makers thought women should be: fair and lovely, free from the so-called stigma of being born with a dark skin. The ads were racist, cheapening human dignity, and we thought that we had seen the last of such disturbing, cheap, and offensive ads. Till an advertisement released by the New York Times recently has redefined what it means to be distasteful. The international newspaper is looking for a South Asia correspondent, and even a person who has a criminal record can apply for the job. The NYT has said it, not me. The only condition is that the correspondent should be in sync with the NYT's beliefs. Let me quote a bit from the ad. It goes like this. India's future now stands at a crossroads. Mr. Modi is advocating a self-sufficient, muscular nationalism centered on the country's Hindu majority. That vision puts him at odds with the interfaith, multicultural goals of modern India's founders. When I read the ad, for a moment, I could not believe it. There had to be a mistake somewhere, I thought. An international newspaper with a huge reputation could not seriously be indulging in political grandstanding. If the Congress party had released the ad for the National Herald newspaper, I could still understand it. But the NYT? And then the penny dropped. My mind took me back to a term coined in Indira Gandhi's India. The term foreign hand was coined in her term to warn the people of political machinations of foreign powers and intelligence agencies against India. Much of the scare tactics of the dreaded foreign hand were a psychological attempt then to scare people and consolidate them under the stewardship of Mrs. Gandhi. At the same time, it was also not far-fetched that some aspects of the foreign hand were indeed true. Hostile foreign intelligence agencies in those days would plan and carry out coup d'etats or regime change in many countries. Some of the threat perception then was real. The old foreign hand syndrome has unfortunately resurfaced in India. This time it is in the shape of the more sophisticated nomenclature, non-state actors. These non-state actors are a bunch of people or organizations that have made it their business to comment, interfere, and if possible, help change the country's political and social transformation journey. Such non-state actors are both domestic and foreign. In the current scenario, most of these, but not all non-state actors are bitterly opposed to Prime Minister Modi and his government in India. They would like nothing better than to see the collapse of this government as quickly as possible. Much like the old Fair and Lovely filmmakers, many foreign and domestic non-government organizations or NGOs do not airbrush their intentions of seeing a so-called fair India without Mr. Modi being at the helm of affairs. They all have their own ideas of how this country should be run, and again, like the Fair and Lovely ad, how it should look like and how it should conduct itself in national and international fora. It is commonly believed that most non-state actors are left liberal, socialist in thinking and orientation. That line of thought is, however, a simplification. They are certainly left liberal, but in their personal space and accumulation of wealth, they are nothing but capitalist. But that does not stop them from applying pressure on governments to change policy and implement schemes that seem straight out of the playbook of the former Soviet Union. Their advocacy of a secular India is also, in a sense, a disguised effort to check the aspirations and beliefs of the majority community, make them feel guilty about it, and antagonize the minorities into a ghetto-like state of perpetual fear and apprehension from real and imagined enemies. To dismiss the non-state actor as a mere gadfly is also a simplification. He or she has emerged as a dangerous entity that can cause real damage. Look at what Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's National Advisory Council, NAC, managed to do in the UPA 2 government. They reduced the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh to a mere rubber stamp, stamping their harebrained economic policies that wrecked the country. Corruption flourished, and the new left policies of UPA 2 took the country down the tube and tarnished Dr. Manmohan Singh's reputation forever. I have to mention the RSS in the same way. No one can and should disagree if they hold up the cause of nationalism and cultural unity. These are, after all, noble objectives. But if they interfere in polity and governance, then they also cannot escape the stigma that comes attached with a non-state actor. More recently, non-state actors like NYT, the Washington Post, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera have made it their mission to tarnish India's image in every possible way during the pandemic. And they have succeeded in doing that. There is so much negativity about India, both at home and abroad, that it would take years to dispel it. In the past, spy agencies and intelligence agencies would wreak havoc all over the world. Today, the non-state actor, flush with money and funds from all kinds of sources, is doing precisely the same job. It is hell-bent on clearing the pitch in perfectly democratic societies, replacing the dispensation with its own ideas of left, liberal, socialist order of things that no one can challenge. So that's all we have for today. Keep watching this space. Subscribe to us. And for now, it is goodbye and have a good night, everyone.